Kenny Smith leading the challenge as the Houston Rockets come into the Summit with the 4th best home court record in the NBA as we look at tonight's Chrysler-Plymouth starting matchups.
Well, you know, I think you're going to have nothing but straight matchups all the way throughout this game until Chris Dudley comes in, or if Rick Adelman decides he wants to play Cliff Robinson at the center for a longer period of time.
And coaching for the Portland Trail Blazers is 47-year-old Rick Adelman out of Loyola University. And for the Houston Rockets, a man that has been part of this organization for 24 years as a player and assistant coach, Rudy Tomjanovich, now the head coach in his 3rd season. Our officials tonight, we've got a good crew on hand: Hugh Evans, Lee Jones, and Paul Mahalik. Chris Dudley will probably see him 4 to 5 minutes into the game as Rick Adelman did not want to start him, take a chance of getting 2 quick fouls on him, even though he probably do a pretty good job on it, too.
Well, I like what he said about Chris Dudley. He said Chris Dudley pretty much is a player that's going to defend and he's going to rebound, and he's easy to fit in.
Rockets have won 4 straight playoff games here at the Summit. Once again, they swept the season series between these two teams, 4-0. And they have the 2nd best home win total in franchise history. 4th best overall in the NBA. Strickland, the running jumper, a little short. That is a key for Portland. They have to out-rebound Houston in this ball game to stay in contention, and they want Hakeem to feel the presence, and you saw him double-teamed immediately. And Houston getting an uncustomary offensive rebound. They are last in the league in offensive rebounding. Strickland with the rebound. Pretty good rebounding guard, 4.5 a game. We've played a minute, still no score. Dick Versace along with Ron Thulin, Ernie and Isaiah in our studios in Atlanta. Robinson with the red headband.
Well,
Don't call me Cliff.
He's the guy that presents the greatest problem for Rudy Tomjanovich. Rudy was telling us that it doesn't matter whether he plays the small forward or the power forward or if he plays center. He presents a problem at all positions.
Olajuwon, now when he's over on that baseline, he will not dribble the ball. He usually turns and shoots. Look for Olajuwon when he's in the middle of the floor to put the ball on the floor. And that's something Portland is very aware of.
Now, I don't think that was part of the game plan to give Cliff Robinson a warm-up jump shot. Little mix-up and matchups there.
Kenny Smith, and it won't go. But Lee Jones does blow the whistle. We have a foul. Rod Strickland whistled for his first personal foul.
Well, you got to wonder. You look at one end of the court, Ron, and you see Cliff Robinson has a wide-open jumper, and you had 4 black shirts out higher than he was. He got deeper in transition on defense than the rest of his teammates. Nobody stopped the ball, and Kenny Smith takes the ball all the way into the basket and shoots a layup. That's not very good defense. Rick Adelman can't be happy about that.
There you see the numbers on Kenny Smith this year, 10th in the NBA in free throw percentage. This is the 2nd time, as you saw in the last graphic, these two teams have met in the playoffs. Houston won that series 3-1. Our first tie of the ball game at the 10-19 mark of the 1st.
Little 2-2-1 3/4 court press, little bothersome press. Tries to get the shot clock down, 20 on the entry pass.
Strickland over to Buck Williams. Buck Williams signing the new contract in April, locked up for the next couple of years. Grant has it rejected by both Horry and Olajuwon. Maxwell. Buck Williams putting a body on Hakeem. Hakeem still able to drop it through. He's averaging 27. He has 2 tonight.
See, there's the example that Rudy Tomjanovich was talking about. He says, we want to force you to play 5-on-5, but we want to run on you.
Buck walked with it. We'll go the other way. 4-2. Rockets up by a deuce. 9:41 left to be played in the first.
Rudy Tomjanovich, Ron Thulin, also worried about Rod Strickland. He told us that there's no way you can practice for a guy like Rod Strickland. He's so quick. He's so unpredictable. But they do have a man out there in Kenny Smith that can match him speed-wise.
That's like Rick Adelman saying it's tough practicing for an Olajuwon because they don't have an Olajuwon on his team. Horry has been hot from the outside lately, and he continues that streak. He's 32% from the arc this year. He was 5 of 11 from 3-pointers during the regular season versus Portland. Houston 7 straight points.
Tough shot. Tough shot. Harvey Grant.
He has struggled in the offense this year, almost losing his confidence. Smith all the way. Olajuwon there. The rejection by Drexler, but we have a foul.
Oh. Well, let's take a look at Hakeem Olajuwon doing what he does best. Blocking, triggering the break, running the court. Now look at him getting under control, directing traffic, early post up in transition, nice deep post up. There's the answer, and defensively Buck Williams had no answer.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the 9-time All-Star, has 5 starts in the All-Star game. A very diverse young man. At 31 years old in his 10th year, speaks 6 different languages. Hakeem has 4. The Rockets have 9. It is a 7-point advantage. One thing Portland has to be careful of, they cannot be forced into just shooting jump shots, Nick, because they are not a jump shooting basketball team.
No, Ron, I think it's a major problem for him. But see, Rick Adelman feels that Hakeem Olajuwon not only presents a problem for him offensively, as you see Clyde bury the jumpers, but he presents a problem as well defensively in that he takes away what little inside game they have.
Clyde, who's coming off the lowest field goal percentage of his career, has been hot during the stretch run of the season, averaging better than 24 a game. Williams has the loose rock, gets it up to Strickland. He has Grant on the left, Robinson on the right, Clifford with 2.
Now that's where Strickland's great. I mean, you just don't know what he's going to do. He's so clever taking the ball to the basket. He's so quick, so good with the ball.
You need that penetration by Strickland.
You know, Rudy Tomjanovich was telling us about Sam Cassell, and he described him as Rod Strickland with a shot.
No basket. Foul was before the shot. Well, Rick Adelman had a couple of keys before tonight's game. The foul was on Williams, his first, and they are these.
Well, he wanted to control Hakeem at both ends of the court. I just talked about that. He also wants to run whenever possible. That's vintage Portland Trail Blazers. But he also said they need to defend better, and they got to be more physical.
Well, the #1 3-point shooting team in the NBA for attempts and makes, get their second of the ball game, is Maxwell, who hit 120 during the regular season, gets his first this evening. And that foul was on Maxwell. That's his first team foul. 12-6 is our score. Houston on top, 7:50 left in the first. Drexler will inbounds the pass. Strickland had a step on Smith, but then Cork came over to help out. I don't know what that was, but it was ugly.
That's one of those bailout passes. You get in the lane, you jump up in the air, you don't know what to do with it. He had no place to throw it, so he tried an unbelievable bounce pass, threading the needle. It's called a turnover.
Well, the top 3 scorers for Portland during the regular season averaged 3 less than they did during the rest of the regular season against this Houston Rocket team. Thorpe just muscles his way inside on Robinson.
Well, if you don't defend this team, you must defend this team. That's what Rick Adelman was talking about. It's the responsibility of the guys that he puts out on that floor to defend better than that.
And there's the penetration that Adelman wanted before the game. That also allows for them to kick it out.
Boy, Rudy Tomjanovich was right, Ron. There's no answer for Rod Strickland when you get him in open court. He's got great quickness.
Started the last 58 games for the ball club.
Well, when you beat out a guard like Terry Porter, you're a pretty good basketball player.
Good ball movement. Shot clock at 7. The 3 on the way. And it goes. Check the rim. Their third 3 of the ball game. They are 3 of 3 from the arc. Hugh Evans blows the whistle. We have a foul, and we also have a timeout. 6:35 left in the first. The Rockets by 9.
Off the passer. The pass is going to go inside to Hakeem Olajuwon. All right, there he is right there. Hold it right there. Here's the double team. Off the passer. Now let's see what happens as the ball is reversed. The ball is reversed back out top. Then it's swung. Now watch the rotation across the lane. Hold it right there. This is what you call a bump out. He bumps this man out. But look, Otis Thorpe puts a screen on, and the defender cannot get out. He gets caught on the screen. The shot is wide open in the corner, and you get a little bit of a crier, and it rolls in.
And it counts. Houston 2 of 8 from two-point land. How about 3 of 3 from the arc, though? Not bad. 5 of 11 overall. They've opened up the 9-point advantage. Porter, I don't know. Do you get the feeling they're a little listless almost?
I hate to say that. It's a playoff game, but yes, I just think that you would think they'd come out with a little more fire in the belly than what we're seeing. But maybe this is how this team plays. I'm not alibiing for them, but these eyes have seen players for lots of years, and it doesn't seem to be a lot of fire. There's a lot of talent, but not a lot of fire right now. That could change.
Maxwell, oh, that rim is kind. His second 3 of the ball game. Houston very aware of what happened yesterday in the NBA.
They're just giving Cliff that shot.
Just let him take it. 10-point Rocket lead. Robinson takes it away. Got away with taking a step. It's a 3-on-2. Strickland has Drexler. Takes it all the way himself. Rod Strickland with his 4th. And quickly, Houston pushes it up after the make. To Ori. Got to get back on defense.
See, I'm calling a timeout right now, and I'm saying, hey, wait a minute. We just scored a layup at the other end, and we give a layup at this end because we don't match up?
Drexler, the one-hander, won't go. He tips it to himself. There's Grant. Over the outstretched hands of Ori. Robinson had a shot at it. Thorpe takes it away with those big meat hooks.
He's got some mitts.
Man, those aren't Bambi hands either. We are in the Summit in Houston, where a near-capacity crowd has come for Game 1 between the Houston Rockets and the Portland Trail Blazers. With 5:05 left in the first, the Rockets lead it by 10 as Rod Strickland picks up his second personal foul.
Well, let's look at the hands of Otis Thorpe, Ron. You were talking about them, mitts, you call them, or meat hooks. But watch what happens when he gets the ball. Basically clamps it, now goes ahead and fakes it, but then twirled it and then threw the outlet pass.
Well, Grant picks up his first personal foul. Already the 15th foul at the 4:59 mark of the first, so that'll send Robert Ori to the line. Interesting story for this young man. Traded to Detroit. At least he thought he was. For Sean Elliott. Then the trade, of course, fell through. He took it personally. Rudy Tomjanovich, who is very close to Robert Ori, said, hey, you've got 2 shots at this. You can either go ahead and be mad at us, or you can come out and play like you want to show us that we were wrong in trying to trade you. He decided to come out and play like they were wrong. He has played extremely well as of late.
Ron, I believe it's been a big blessing in disguise for the Houston Rockets. Robert Ori has played much better. He shot much better from the perimeter. You know, we didn't talk about the fact that there's a kind of a little confrontation, a little subplot going on between Robert Ori and Cliff Robinson. Cliff Robinson said, if Robert Ori guards me, I will kill him.
And both of them had a little fun with that. And of course, the media just ate it up. We've got a timeout, Portland. 4:49 left in the first. They find themselves down by 12, and I think they're going to make it a 20. They're going to make it a full timeout. So Rick Adelman needs the whole time to talk about this as his troops down by a dozen.
What we mean by poor transition defense. Watch Rod Strickland goes in, gets a nice easy basket, nice play. Now when a team scores, there should be plenty of time to get back. Freeze it right there. There's an imaginary line that goes through the ball. Every one of these black shirted players should be below this line. You see how many are not. Not even matched up, and an easy basket.
We'll get our first look at Chris Dudley. Rick Adelman wanted to make sure that he's not too disruptive when he plays Dudley. He says, you know, he's only played 6 games this whole year. We don't want to put him in and have to change everything around. So he's very careful about putting Chris Dudley in, taking Harvey Grant out. Dudley, of course, the 7th-year pro out of Yale, the only Ivy Leaguer to play in the NBA currently. 4 of 4 on 3-point, 3 of 9. They should just stay outside the arc. Dudley not much of a shooter, but he will have a defensive presence and keep Olajuwon occupied when Portland's on the offensive end. Strickland now 6.
Very nice response out of the timeout. Rick Adelman called the timeout, set up a play. Kip Mata over there with a power book computer helps Rick at the timeouts and tells him tendencies and plays that work better.
My goodness, he comes out and he hits the 17.
The whole package.
6 for Olajuwon. The lead is 12.
As soon as he saw Dudley on him, he moved outside. Dudley was hesitant to come out because he knew that Olajuwon would drive on him, gave him the shot.
One shot, you go the other way. Exactly what will kill Portland tonight if this trend continues. Nice pass inside. Once again, the big guy, Forbes, grabs his 4th point home. Portland, the first time in 5 years they've opened the playoffs on the road. They've only won 2 of 6 series when they did not have the home court advantage. As Robinson gets the 2, he has 6. That was back in '83 and '85. Now they find themselves down by a dozen again. Terry Porter set to check into Portland's lineup. Well, Chris Dudley had to make a decision there, Dick. He wasn't sure if he wanted to front him or play behind him.
Well, he's one of the most difficult players in the league to front because he's got such quickness and agility along with size and leaping ability. You're better off ducking in behind him.
Maxwell 4 assists, or he picks the pocket of Drexler, comes out with a 10 spot. Maxwell, his first non-3 tonight. He has 8. And once again, the trend that was during the regular season, the guards of Houston just capitalizing on Portland. 22nd timeout. They're standing in the Summit. .32-16, 3:01 left in the first. The Rockets and Hakeem after the pocket being picked.
Well, he knows who's in the game. He knows he hasn't played much this year. Little down screen by Kenny Smith. Chris Dudley couldn't get over it. Hakeem Olajuwon wide open. Now he tries fronting him. Dudley fronts, no good. There's the answer to that. And how about this? Triggered a fast break. The whole package from Hakeem Olajuwon. Vernon Maxwell gets the layup. You're seeing it all. Not much in the way of a response from the Portland Trailblazer team. Rick Adelman, of course, right now unhappy about the way his team is playing, burning timeouts.
Well, Terry Porter's into the lineup. Rod Strickland takes a seat. Is Portland shooting 50%? Houston 65%. Porter from the outside drains the 2. Terry Porter, the 9th-year pro out of Wisconsin Stevens Point, started over 550 games for these Blazers until Rod Strickland placed him as the starting point guard midway through this year. Olajuwon, there's no way you can stop that. That's 10 for Olajuwon. He's 4 of 6, but he gets moving with that dream shake to the left.
Wow,
count it.
That is a tough shot, and he has the ability to create a little space because he shoots the ball with a little bit of a fade. So even if you close down on the shot, you can't bother him.
Shot clock at 7. This is Williams over Olajuwon. The turnaround jumper goes for Buck.
You know, we talked about this Houston Rocket team in the open. You asked, you know, what's different about them? I said one of the things, Ron, is that they've embraced defense. They were always a good offensive team. I look at the Portland Trailblazers and I think, you know, if this team would embrace defense, make it important to them. Look at all the offensive weapons they have. They have an unbelievable triplets, you know, in the backcourt with Strickland, Porter, and Drexler, but they don't defend and they don't get up and challenge.
6:40 left to be played in that Cleveland-Chicago game. The Cavaliers down by 9. Jerome Kersey has come into the lineup for the Blazers, and Buck Williams is going to take a rest. Rick Adelman now just trying to find a combination that may work.
Maybe an oxygen tent would help, you know, or you know, one of those little masks where they breathe the oxygen. I mean, after all,
need helium in that.
Played a whole 10 minutes here.
Well, after the illegal defense, Vernon Maxwell hits his 3rd consecutive 3. He was only 30% during the regular season, but he shot over 400 3-point attempts. Houston with that swarming defense. Rudy Tomjanovich told us today, he goes, we can make anybody in this league miss a shot. No question.
Well, they are committed to challenging the shot or closing down on the shooter, whatever term you want to use for it. And their theory is we're going to make you miss, and they take great pride in it.
Maxwell with the rebound. Robinson tried to sneak behind him. 1:34 left in the first. 17-point Rocket advantage. They were 35-6 here in the Summit. They shoot better here in Houston. They're 5 of 6 from the three-point arc as Clyde Drexler trying to get something going offensively. He has 8 of the 22 points as we near the 1-minute mark. The Rockets 14-0 versus the Pacific Division at home this year. Smith all the way, an uncontested layup.
Okay, so the defender got beat. Kenny Smith's quick. He beats a lot of guys. Where's the help from the weak side? Where's the challenge and protection of the lane? You got to bring the bodies across. You got to take charges. You got to block shots, and you got to swarm the lane.
Houston has hit 14 of its last 17 shots. That is accounted for a 17-point advantage. Kersey gets a step on Ori. He draws the foul. Foul's on Ori. That'll be his first. Only the third team foul. First in the final 2 minutes. And at the line, it'll be Kersey, the 10th-year pro out of Longwood College in Virginia. Second-round pick back in '84. 31 years old and first time off the bench as a player for the Blazers since '86-'87. And struggled early this year with his new role. A lot of people felt he was paying the price for 9 years of diving into the stands after loose balls and just really playing all out. But in the last half of the season, he has been extremely active.
I talked to Jerome before the game, and he said he just feels better. You know, his body feels better. It reminds me of Jim Otto or some of these football players that have played their whole lives and end up with arthritis. I mean, you're right, Ron. He was a player that did toss his body around.
Last touch by Portland, 13 on the shot clock, 25 on the game clock. Rockets have it. Rudy Tomjanovich, the third coach in NBA history to have 55 or more wins in his first full 2 years. Phil Jackson, Rick Adelman, the others. 5 on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. Ori finds the opening, doesn't get it. The tip won't go. Dudley had it. Robinson comes up with it. Final 10 seconds of the first. Porter stops, pops, nothing but air. Final 2 seconds. Robinson can get it off. It'll count, but he doesn't get it. What a quarter for the Houston Rockets. Vernon Maxwell from the arc. 3 3-pointers, 11 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. We've played 12 in Houston. Rockets by 16. We'll be back. We have played 1 quarter in the Summit. Both teams shooting extremely well, but the Blazers find themselves down by 16. And Dick, I tell you, they're a very unselfish team, this Houston Rockets, especially in that first quarter.
Well, it's very dramatic. The Houston Rockets have 14 field goals, and they use 13 assists to get those 14 field goals. And Ron, when that happens, your team feels good about itself, and not only are you producing points, you are producing a force that collectivity, you know, and good feeling that you have about yourself, you know, blends. And so the other team has to deal with that as well as your proficiency offensively.
Well, the Rockets averaged better than 30 assists a game during the regular season against these Portland Trailblazers. Terry Porter draws the foul. As Carl Herrera has come into the lineup. And that is Herrera's first personal foul. He checks in, gets the foul. So for Portland, Tracy Murray has come into the lineup along with James Robinson. Robinson, the rookie out of Alabama, wearing jersey 26. He has the basketball. He's joined by Dudley, Porter, and Kersey going with the 3-guard offense as Robinson goes hard to the floor. Murray, the follow. His first 2. Houston counters with Sam Cassell, number 10. He is the rookie out of Florida State. Kenny Smith joins him in the backcourt. Herrera, Thorpe, and Ori round out the starting 5 in the second quarter for Houston. Herrera battling with Robinson, trying to post up the smaller Robinson. Well, Robinson has the foul called on him. As we look at Rudy Tomjanovich's keys, talk about putting the plan down in just executing that plan.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the X's and O's come alive. You know, you put them on the paper and they come alive. Slow the Blazers down. They've done that. No second opportunities. Pretty good job there. Rod Strickland's gotten away a few times, but the big thing that Rudy T's team has done is that they have forced a half-court game for Portland, but they've been able to run against Portland. That's why they're shooting 58%. Portland's shooting 52%, but not defending.
Oh, they did defend a 3 again, as Houston now 6 of 7 from the arc. Remember, they had 31 threes during the regular season in the 4 meetings between these two, and they're continuing that. That's something that Rick Allen said. He goes, we've got to guard the perimeter, and they're not doing it tonight. They find themselves down by 17.
It takes energy to guard the perimeter against the Houston Rockets because they space up so deep. When you rotate out of a trap, that's a long, long run, and you got to have a lot of energy to do it.
Shot on the way is Dudley and Thorpe. We're having a little mini battle underneath. Porter to the hole. Banks close. Percy tries to keep it alive. The Rockets are running. They've got Thorpe. There he is. The reverse. It goes.
Very clever move by Otis Thorpe. Put a lot of English on that ball, Ron. I didn't really think he could get it down, but it fell for him.
Well, take that rim and bronze it after this game. It has been extremely kind to the men in white. Porter from the arc. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Porter 39% on the year. 16-point Rocket advantage. Portland 8-20 on the road in the playoffs during the 90s. Struggling again tonight. Smith finds Herrera.
Very unselfish. Penetration by Ori. Gets the ball to Herrera. Smith makes a penetration, gives it up. Easy basket.
Oh, that could have hurt. Last touch by Houston. No, they're saying it is a kick on Portland. So the Rockets have the basketball with 9:10 left to be played in the first half. It's still all the Rockets. Rick Edelman has his work cut out for him. Rockets by 18 with 9:10 remaining in the first half. And at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. Budweiser will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the United Negro College Fund. That'll be coming up following tonight's game. Rick Edelman. Only Jerry Sloan and Don Nelson have been with their teams longer. He has 2 years left on his contract, but I'll tell you what, he has been under a lot of pressure the last couple of years from the fans, from the media, a lot of speculation surrounding him, and the bottom line is this man has done a great job on this ball club. He has played this season without his center, and some of the criticism very, very unfair to Rick Edelman.
Well, see, if you've never coached, a nice steal there. Good pressure. Little 1-2, 1-1. Full court press, nice trap, step in and steal the return pass.
But you're right, if you've never coached, you don't know what that man's going through.
Yeah, you know, and I always am concerned about people who don't walk down tunnels as a coach, understanding what it is that a coach goes through. Magic Johnson found out how difficult it is. And you know, when you coach, you have no control over the feelings that you have because the responsibility is totally yours. There's a great loneliness in the leadership of coaching.
You can't have any wrinkles in your life while you're coaching. Now let's take a look at the playoff history of the Portland Trailblazers as Rick led this team to 2 finals back in 90 and 92. However, they were ousted in the first round in the last 8 seasons, 86, 87, 88, 89, and 93 last year. Very disappointing as Olajuwon comes back in. Of course, the conference finals in 91. Rick Edelman was quite a basketball player in his day. Set a school record at that time for most points scored at Loyola University. James Robinson, he is as quick as anything underneath. The basket won't go by Williams, but we have a whistle and a foul. Just over a minute to go in the game. Chicago now has opened up an 11-point advantage. That foul is on Hakeem Olajuwon. The game, of course, over on TNT. And Mike Fratello, you don't want to go out when it's raining with him. You don't want to take a shot at that.
That's cold.
That'll get him back in the broadcast real quick.
Just happen. There's nothing you can do about it. Cleveland, of course, has been struck with injury even before Mike got there. Lenny Wilkins had a lot of teams that couldn't make it through the season. They broke down. But interestingly enough, the guys that broke down for Mike weren't the guys that broke down for Lenny.
That's right.
Hot Rod Williams always was a pretty good, long-distance runner, and so was Brad Doherty, and so was Larry Nance.
Olajuwon, he felt the presence that time of Kersey. That was a nice job defensively, but then Mario Elie, who's just checked into the lineup, makes him pay. Elie, who played in only 67 ball games, missing 25 with that fractured hand. This is his first action back. Robinson for three, buries it. James Robinson, the rookie, averaging 4.8 on the year, cuts the lead down to 13. Now Houston has to be careful right about now. But that kind of defense.
That's exactly what you should do against pressure. You should try to get the ball to the middle, and you should try to punish the other team for pressing you. Punish the press, take the ball right to the basket.
Kersey over Olajuwon. Olajuwon may have gotten a piece of it. Murray comes up with a loose ball. There's Porter. That's from the arc, and he buries it. Terry Porter's second three of the ball game. Porter with 10 for the game, 8 coming in this quarter. The lead is down to 12. It was 19. Elie to the hole. No defense by Portland. I'd have to drive his nuts.
Wow, see, I feel for Rick Adelman. This is the playoffs, gang. Hello, this is the playoffs. Let's defend a little bit. You can't burn any more timeouts than he's already burned.
Cassell has it rejected after Olajuwon comes up with the block. The rookie, he doesn't get the roll. Porter comes down with it. He's got Kersey on the left. If they hurry, they'll have the numbers. But instead, we have a whistle and a foul. That is on Kenny Smith. Smith picks up his second, and we have a timeout. 6:26 left in the half. A 14-point Rocket advantage.
The powerful all-aluminum alloy engine in the Lexus ES is so incredibly quiet. You can hear the cliche.
Houston Rockets, who set a franchise record for fewest points allowed in a single season, have only given the Portland Trail Blazers a chance to get 38 so far tonight. And the Rockets have opened up a 14-point advantage. They've led by as many as 19. Well, this is a final. Cleveland makes a valiant attempt, but the Bulls hang on for the 8-point win, 104-96. Those of you watching that game, we're glad you switched the old remote again on this multiplex kind of night. We have 6:26 left in the half. Along with Dick Versace, I'm Ron Thulin, Ernie Johnson, and Isaiah Thomas back in our studios in Atlanta.
Ron, as we watch the Portland Trail Blazers come out of a timeout, it crosses my mind that there's a certain element that every team that really advances in the playoff has, and that's that great leader on the inside, that guy in the locker room, the holler guy, the vocal leader. Portland doesn't seem to have that guy.
How about that assisted field goal? Amazing. 18-20 is Portland again sticking with this three-guard offense. They're going with Robinson, Porter, and Strickland now. Only two big guys. Once again, no true center out there. Is Williams, I guess, will play the 5 spot, but now it is Kersey guarding Olajuwon, putting a body on him. An illegal defense, that should be the second of the ball game called against Portland. The look of frustration.
Well, I think Rick Adelman has shown a lot of patience for the way his team has come out and performed. When you consider this is the opening round of the 1994 playoffs, they haven't shown a lot of energy. They do have a lot of talent. They try to win the game offensively. That doesn't work. Not when you get here. They should know that. They've been there.
Well, the strength of the Portland Trail Blazers used to be their athletes, but those athletes have a few miles on them now, and it's almost their weakness. Inside of 6 minutes. Olajuwon being guarded by Williams. Extremely quiet here in the Summit right now. Olajuwon, the turnaround, doesn't get it. He had 10 in the first quarter, has not scored in the second. Strickland has not had the penetration they need. This is a three by Porter, and Terry Porter drains his third three of the evening. 13 first half points for Porter. He's perfect from the arc.
He's had good looks at the basket. He came off the bench, measured three of those three threes, nailed all three of them.
Maxwell tries to retaliate. That hurts.
It's a pass off the backboard.
He said he got hit. Yeah. He'll call it a pass off the backboard. Terry Porter has really accepted the fact he is in the reserve role right now. He's taking advantage of it tonight.
Well, Terry Porter has a terrific attitude there, but look, he got a nice screen and easily buries that shot. He's a very strong player. Now watch this pass off the backboard here. Well, we'll all have to kind of say whether it was or it wasn't.
No, I don't think so. That was that goes
the
down.
only way we could truly tell is whether we saw whether Vernon Maxwell was hit when he went to shoot the ball.
Well, he turned to the official immediately and then said, you know, I was hit. Then he goes, oh, that was a good pass.
No, I thought he turned to the official and said, pass off the backboard.
He called bank, right? Drexler in.
Well, of all the people out on the floor, who might try that? Think about it. Who would try it?
Well, since we don't have Dennis Rodman here tonight, I'd say Maxwell. Yeah, that kind of goes.
Max would definitely try it.
I don't know. That missed free throw by Dennis last night. He tried it.
Yeah, that was interesting, too.
That was good.
You know, Vernon Maxwell does not want to be called Mad Max anymore. He thinks that it's hurting his image. He wants to be called Vernon, or you can call him Max, or you can call him Vern, but don't call him Mad Max.
Okay, we won't do that. Strickland with the left hand won't go. Grant with the return, and he jams it through. Harvey Grant, his first two of the ball game. And the lead is down to 10, so Portland has maintained a little presence if they could just play defense. My goodness.
Ron Thulin, you're looking at me, and you're seeing me shake my head, wondering what it's going to take to inspire Portland to get their bodies back, get down in defensive stances, start over shifting towards the ball. Grant's spending some energy, excuse me.
Oh, you're exactly right. Portland 19th in points given up this year in the NBA. Opponents averaged 104 a game against them. We have a whistle and a foul. That'll be on Terry Porter. His first. And we'll go back to the line, and this will be Mario Ellie. When he went down, Rudy Tomjanovich was very, very concerned, although Sam Cassell, the rookie, stepped forward. But Ellie gives this team an awful lot that doesn't show up in the numbers.
Well, for one thing, he's the second leading scorer for the Houston Rockets in fourth quarter scoring. Now, I'll admit it's not a lot of points. It's only about 4, but you know what happens in the fourth quarter. They go inside to Hakeem, and that's why they are so efficient offensively, because they pick their spots. They have these little measures of time during the course of the game where they want to go ahead and go to one particular player. In the fourth quarter, that's Olajuwon they go to.
Buck Williams snatches the rebound away. We have a whistle and a foul. Herrera whistled for the foul. Coming up at halftime, Ernie Johnson is in our studios with the Reebok halftime report. He'll be joined once again by Pistons guard Isaiah Thomas, who's making quite a career for himself out there. And they'll have highlights of tonight's playoff action, including the Nets, Knicks, Cavs, and Bulls. Plus, we'll have a contest. You'll have to name every starting 5 of the last 2 nights on TBS or TNT. Autographed picture of Ernie Johnson's in on it. Williams gets to go. Otis Thorpe comes in. Herrera will sit down. Buck Williams signing the new deal that keeps him a Blazer through the 96-97 season.
Buck, an amazing athlete, still in double-figure rebounds at his age. The number of years he's been in the league. Very proud basketball player. 8 years with the New Jersey Nets.
Maxwell looked at the 3, takes one dribble, pulls the trigger from the 2, doesn't get it. Strickland had a shot at it. Cassell comes over with it. Olajuwon.
Look at this ball movement.
Cassell tries to force it inside. 15 on the shot clock. Rockets still have it. There is a man that Rudy Tomjanovich was extremely high on. He said, from the time I saw tape on him when he was in college, I knew I wanted him.
He also was impressed with the personal interview that he had with him.
How about a little dream shake? Hakeem's first points.
Little dream
in the
shake.
second quarter, 5 of 8. Yep.
He said to Cassell, came in and said all the right things. Said, I've been playing against pro basketball players all my life, and all I want to do is be a pro basketball player. I'm not interested in movies or music. I just want to play basketball. And Rudy loved that. He loved it.
Strickland has 8. The lead is 11. 3:15 left in the first half. We've got a whistle and a push. That'll be on Strickland. Now, Rod Strickland has picked up his 3rd personal foul. Let's look at Hakeem on the shot. Last trip down the court.
Well, when things aren't going well, you always have a place to go offensively. The pass inside to Hakeem freezes the defender, and then there's that space maker I'm talking about. You see Cliff Robinson, no hand up, no close down, no challenge.
Well, one of the keys for Rick Alleman was the penetration of Strickland and kicking out. That has just sat down with 3 personal fouls as Terry Porter has to come into the lineup. You don't want Strickland picking up his 4th here in the first half. Little lob pass off the back of the iron. Oh, Houston gets a break.
It's one of the few offensive rebounds you're going to see the Houston Rockets. See their spacing, see how far out they are. That's why they're the worst offensive rebounding team in the league, as they just get their 2nd.
Oh, Robinson gets beat by the man he's been trash talking about the whole week. Or he takes it right away from him. There it is again. This time it won't go. How about the rebound by the big one? Smith from the arc. Another offensive rebound, and Olajuwon is fouled on the play.
But I'm just making the point about the fact that their spacing makes it difficult for them to get offensive rebounds. I'm talking about the fact that they're so far away, they don't run cutters when the pass is made, and what do? They come up with 4 straight offensive rebounds.
The NBA playoffs on TBS are brought to you by Lexus, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection, and by Levi's Dockers. Nobody does color like Dockers.
The Houston Rockets are not a good offensive rebounding team. They have a method of spacing up far greater than any other team in the league. Look at the distance that they space up from the low post player here. So therefore, it's difficult to come all the way in here and get offensive rebounds, and that's why they're last in the league in offensive rebounding. But Rudy Tomjanovich says, hey, it's a trade-off, because we feel that we can be very efficient offensively by playing an inside-outside game. By throwing the ball into Hakeem, he will score a high percentage of the time. If you come down defensively to double team that man, then we will throw the ball back out and hit the threes, and you can't rotate back out and get it. And that's the trade-off.
You saw that Houston not rebounding Portland on the offensive end, 9-7. Hakeem now with 13 as the crowd begins the token MVP chant we heard last night in San Antonio. Hearing it tonight, that should be cleared up in a little bit. Hakeem gets them both. So Hakeem, who averaged 33 points a game versus Portland this year, checks in with 14 already tonight, and it is a 13-point Houston advantage. Porter working on Smith. Terry Porter again, another 3. How about his 4th tonight, folks?
Terry Porter will play any role you ask him to. He's playing the role of fireman tonight, coming off the bench, creating some offense for Portland, trying to keep him close.
4 3-pointers in one quarter for Terry Porter. Drexler with the finger roll. That cuts the lead down even further. It is down to 8. Houston is led by as many as 19.
See, that's one of the things the great athleticism of Portland can offer, a constant challenge to the basket. So if Houston doesn't get back, then they're going to be giving up the layups, and that is something that concerned Rudy Tomjanovich going into this game.
Well, that 4 3-pointers in one quarter ties the NBA record for the playoffs. Drexler had the putback, just didn't have enough leapability on that. 10-point lead. Alley-oop to Thor. Count it.
While Portland is relentless going to the offensive end, they are very inefficient coming to the defensive end.
Portland cut it to 8, back up to 12. Houston 21 fast break points already this evening. This is a 3 by Drexler. A little flat on the arc, doesn't get it. A lot of black shirts. Drexler comes up with it. Grant. buries it.
Some
Grant has
players,
4.
some players, Ron, don't like taking little, uncontested shots. Harvey Grant tries to pick up a charge there, so they like to get a little rhythm in their shot. And you saw Grant put a little rhythm in his shot, took it to the baseline, made it.
Olajuwon felt a lot of black jerseys on his shoulder. They wanted to try to crowd Hakeem Olajuwon's right shoulder when he makes any type of a move. You saw it there. They did exactly what they wanted to do. He has averaged 22 shots a game versus Portland this year. Rick Adelman was just appalled at how many shots he gets no matter what they do to him.
Now, what was interesting is that Rick was telling us that we tried all kinds of different defenses, but every defense we tried resulted in the same number of shots, 22 shots. So one of their theories coming into tonight's game was to try to hold Hakeem Olajuwon to lower than 22 shots. You saw Dudley try to front him. That didn't work. You tried to double team him. That doesn't work. There really isn't an answer to him, and that's why he is the Dream.
Got that right. The Dream just picked up his second personal foul. That will send Clifford, don't call me Cliff Robinson, to the line. Out of Connecticut, 5th-year pro, second-round pick back in '89. Over 400 straight regular season games. He's number 6 on the all-time list. Not a bad free throw shooter, 77% during the regular season. Now Herrera will come back in. Olajuwon's going to sit out. They don't want him picking up his 3rd foul in the final 18.9 of the game. 19 was the biggest lead. It's down to 10. And it is down to 9.
If I'm Rudy Tomjanovich, I would rather go in up 9 or 10 than up 18 or 19.
Oh, yes. 6 3-pointers for Houston in the first half. 4 for Terry Porter in the first half for Portland. Smith to the hole. Doesn't get it. They're going to have to hurry. They're not going to be able to get it off. It won't count. Terry Porter, a valiant effort. No good. Porter's shooting has kept the Portland Trail Blazers within striking distance. 16 first-half points for Terry Porter. Hakeem Olajuwon with 14, but the Rockets lead it by 9. Portland's only lead was 2-0. Houston led by as many as 19 as we head to the 3rd quarter of play. The Rockets up by 9. They began the season tying the NBA record for the most wins to begin a season, 15. Rockets only need 15 more and they'll win an NBA championship. They have allowed Portland to get a lot of points tonight, but Portland, on the other hand, not playing any defense and has allowed Houston to have a lot of points tonight.
Well, it's resulted in the fast break points. You look at the fast break points, Houston 21, Portland only 8. Hey, one team is supposed to be the half-court team, and the other team is supposed to be the running team.
Right.
And that hasn't worked out that way. And I know that Rick Adelman's very frustrated right now. His team is shooting 48%. That's not bad, but they're giving up a lot of easy baskets, resulting in, you see the shooting percentage for the Rockets there.
Well, let's take a look at some of the action from the first 24 minutes. And the big guy, Hakeem Olajuwon, 14 first-half points.
Well, I love this move here because he creates the space, and he just discourages the defender to even challenge the shot. Cliff Robinson could step up. He's got the size and speed. Hakeem had a great first half, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks.
And Terry Porter kept Portland in this game.
Well, Terry Porter, 16 first-half points, all off the bench, and he was doing it with the 3. Terry Porter, you see, 16 points, 6 for 8, and how about this? 4 for 4 on 3-point shots.
Well, Houston, as you mentioned, a lot of fast break points, a lot of easy baskets.
Well, Ron Thulin, this is poor transition defense, and it is poor because not only do you not get the bodies back, you don't match up, and you see a nice, easy, unmolested layup. Now, isn't that the same kind of layup you take in the layup line?
That's what it looked like.
And that's the problem. And you know, Isaiah mentioned that, you know, Portland got himself back in this game, you know, and I beg to differ. I believe that Houston just let up. They have so many weapons. Their energy levels are so much better. But the bottom line is, Isaiah's right. They're in position. Portland now can find new life, and they can come back and get in the game, but not if they don't do something about their energy levels and their transition defense.
Well, let's see what that energy level is to start this 3rd quarter, because they will definitely need some type of energy level. Well, the Portland Trail Blazers, who had their first losing road record since '88-89, struggled early on tonight, but thanks to Terry Porter's 16 points, 14 coming in the second quarter, they have cut the deficit down to 9. And they have the ball. Same starting fives for both teams. Strickland, Drexler, Robinson, Grant, and Williams.
See, Strickland's not a great outside shooter, so when they run the screen and roll, you can almost go under both the screener and the defender and not worry about him stopping behind the screen and shooting a shot. He's not going to beat you there.
This is where it started, though. One shot, good on the other end for Portland. Maxwell dumps it back inside. When Hakeem goes to the middle, he puts the ball on the floor. At least they had a body on him this time.
See, there was another good example of Houston really has no chance for an offensive rebound, although they had 9 in the first half. They just count on the fact that Hakeem's going to hit the majority of those shots inside.
Well, it took us about a minute to open the game scoring. Looks like we'll do that now. Robinson on Thorpe. A lot of pushing and shoving going on. And we have a whistle and a foul. And Cliff Robinson picks up his first. He doesn't like it. Cliff shooting only 3 of 8 from the floor. He is Portland's leading scorer, just a shade over 20 a game.
Well, interestingly enough, Houston gave him 3 or 4 open jumpers, and he missed them.
How about Hakeem dropping the basket, drawing the foul? And Robinson quickly with 2 fouls to start the third quarter. Olajuwon now with 16 points.
Well, look how deep he gets the ball. First of all, no one's guarding him, and now Drexler moves over. Not much he can do. Cliff comes over. He fouls him, or I should say Clifford comes over and fouls him. But that's just not good defense. You know, you got to guard your man. You learn that in 8th grade. Match up.
Hakeem 5 for 5 from the stripe tonight. 17 points. Lead bounces back up to 12. Grant had a step on Maxwell, takes advantage of it. And Harvey Grant had told me earlier this morning he felt that he really tried to put too much pressure on himself to fit into this lineup. He said, I want to make sure everybody got good touches of the basketball instead of just relaxing and shooting. Robinson, no match for Olajuwon. Percentage-wise, the Portland Trail Blazers, the number 3 rebounding team in the NBA. Houston having their way. A flat shot. Here's the one-handed knee hook again.
You like that, don't you?
I tell you. Well, they used to call me Bambi Hand, so I can call him knee hook. Let's take a look at Hakeem on the last basket.
All right, let's look at 2 things here. The shot that Hakeem gets, and the fact that there's really no chance. You see all the white shirts on the perimeter there? No chance for an offensive rebound, but he is so efficient offensively that he can beat you by himself there.
Grant left open from 17. Does the basic rule follow your own shot? Grant with 4 in the quarter, 8 for the ball game. The lead is 10. Now Grant wanting Lee Jones to call a foul. Lee putting the whistle in his mouth. Better be careful, Harvey.
Well, actually, you know, somebody getting excited.
That may be a plus.
Yeah, exactly. Would be a big plus for Portland. They need a wake-up call.
Olajuwon, we're going to jump it up. Good play, Harvey Grant.
See, Rick Adelman was telling us that in the 4 games that they played, there were several of those games that he thought Olajuwon was involved in a post-up drill, you know, where the player is moving into the lane, and you're not really defending him. You're just letting him work on his moves. He said that's what our defense looked like when we looked at the tapes, and we showed it to the team. Maybe we should show it again.
Maybe. Well, Barkley had 14 of those 18, possibly 20 now points by the Phoenix Suns. Strickland all the way with the penetration. He gets it to go.
I mean, that's a terrific shot.
And you're looking for that one play, Dick, that may get your team going. That may be it.
Well, where's all the guys running over to congratulate him? Where's all the energy? Right. This is a terrific move. He also takes a hit as he goes inside, kisses it off the glass. I mean, this is what Rudy Tomjanovich was talking about. There's no way to defend this in practice.
That's Horry's second personal foul. Strickland now with 11 points in the ball game. We're down to 7, and that is the closest the Portland Trail Blazers have come since the score was 12-6 early on. Maxwell takes a hard hit, and he draws the foul. Well, tomorrow our lineup on TNT action begins at 7 o'clock with a special look at Dream Team 2. I'm joined on that show with Joe Dumars and also with Derek Coleman of the New Jersey Nets. That'll be followed by the pregame show with Ernie Johnson and Isaiah Thomas. Then we have another doubleheader coming your way. The Atlanta Hawks look to even up that series with the Miami Heat. That'll be coming your way from the Omni. And the Sonics look to go 2-0 up on the Nuggets. All gets underway at 7 o'clock.
Well, watch Vernon Maxwell drive the lane. Throws his body into Buck Williams. I guess that's Clifford Robinson. And he draws the foul. You know, if you took a hard look at that, you might say, who initiated the contact? Pretty good play, though. He was rear end out there. Crossed the contact, tried to surf the shot, couldn't get it down. Got himself a couple of free ones.
Well, Cliff picks up his third personal foul. 9:02 left to be played in the third. Rockets lead it by 8. Grant backing in on Ori. Has to kick it out to Robinson. He walked with it. Nope, 3 seconds in the lane. Boy, that's a heartbreaker. You seem like you're getting some type of tempo going, some type of run, and boom, you get a 3-second call, and all of a sudden it could be a 3-point play.
But, you know, if you've been in this league and you keep looking at the scoreboard, you know, however we might criticize Portland's energy levels, lack of transition defense, shot selection, you look at the scoreboard, it's an 8-point differential.
Drexler, another good defensive job tying up Maxwell after he blocked the shot. But Portland shouldn't feel too badly because only 3 teams have shot better than 50% here in the Summit against the Houston Rockets. The Rockets have won 4 straight playoff games here. However, they have lost 5 straight playoff games on the road. Rockets have always talked this whole week in the paper how they don't feel this team's getting respect. And our TNT special Sunday night, Doug and Hebe talked about nobody's jumping on this team's bandwagon. The tip in by Drexler. Everybody's just waiting to see if this Rocket team is indeed for real.
Well, I think everyone is waiting to see how things are going to shake out after the first round. There's been some surprises already. You look at the 2 rounds, Buck and Hakeem inside, pushing and shoving.
Here's Buck Williams.
This is called meeting the postman early. See, what he's trying to do is get him out into the wood there. But Hakeem will have no part of it. There's the tangle. Buck pleading his case.
You know, it's I find
he has a legitimate
I think he has a legitimate beef because we've seen a lot bigger hits. And we saw Chris Dudley doing battle underneath with Otis Thorpe, and they were arm wrestling and nothing was called. Not a consistent call. Maxwell shaking and baking. A playground shot won't go. The lead is only 6. Portland is trailed by as many as 19. Somehow, you can't believe it, but they've gotten back into this game, and Drexler cuts it down to 4. And now Rudy Tomjanovich, who has warned his team about what happened in day 1 of the playoffs, find themselves only up by 4, a 9-2 run by Portland. Rockets lead it only by 4. We still have a lot of time left.
Well, it was Terry Porter that held his team in with some outside shooting, but now it's penetration by the Portland Trailblazers that have closed this game down to a 4-point game. You saw Rod Strickland. Now Clyde Drexler comes in with a patented move and a nice friendly roll. Clyde Drexler, a veteran of the playoffs, 21 points, playoff average, 7 rebounds. He knows what to do at crunch time.
Well, you see the 9-2 run, the last 147, and we've turned this into a game. And during the break, we're talking, how's Portland gotten back into this? We finally realized that Houston's allowed them to get back into it.
And I think that's part of it, but I think there's been a change in strategy. Portland is really taking the ball to the basket and not settling for jump shots.
Grant with the block. Robinson puts it up as the whistle is blown. Court picking up only his first personal foul, second team foul. A few Houston celebrities in the stands tonight. Clifford Robinson goes to the line. He'll shoot one. One of those, Warren Moon, ex-Houston Oilers quarterback, now with the Minnesota Vikings. And that was up in Minneapolis last week. They are extremely excited. He has got to be, if not the most classiest man in the NFL right now. Charity work galore down here in Houston.
Some kind of quarterback, you might add.
Not too shabby.
I think they're going to like him a lot up there in the Humphrey Dome. Is that what they call it now? The
Metrodome. Well, we'll call it anything you want. We'll call it the Rondo.
Maybe they'll call it the Moon Dome.
2-point lead for the Rockets. The Rockets, one of the best defensive teams in the NBA, have allowed Portland to come into it, but Robert Horry, his second 3 of the evening.
How about that? 6'10", Robert Horry. They go inside to the man. Olajuwon double team, reverse the ball. He laces up a three.
Rockets now 11 from 3, and Drexler beginning to take this game over. 6 in the quarter.
Well, I think Rick Adelman has finally found something that works for his team and seems to have energized his team.
Maxwell over to Horry. Still a lot of time on the shot clock. Horry pulls the trigger with 14. We talked about he has come on extremely well the last month and a half of the season. He has 12 this evening to go along with 6 assists. And now Horry has gone down. Robert Horry is laying on the court. And he is, we're not sure what's wrong, but he is down. Now he's getting back up. But he got down, he just laid there. As Buck Williams whistled for the foul. I didn't see what happened to him, did you?
Well, let's take a look. Now, as he's coming up through the paint, he gets an elbow right there, right on the hip. It looked like a hip pointer. Those hurt, but they're not serious, and you can bounce back from them.
Well, once the whistle blew, he bounced right back up. Rockets have the ball after Williams was whistled for the foul. That is Buck Williams' 3rd personal foul. A little pressure put on now by Portland. The lead is 5. They have cut it to within 2. Olajuwon, no. Hugh Evans not going to fall for the little acting job put on by Buck Williams. That is his 4th personal foul. That is a nice veteran official call.
Yeah, I agree with the call. I also feel badly for Buck Williams trying to guard Hakeem Olajuwon inside. There's the flash across the lane. The little attempt to the post up. Buck lost contact and tried to go back and fake the charge. Didn't get the call.
Well, Chris Dudley has to come back into the lineup. Dudley only played 8 minutes in that first half as we take a look at tonight's GMC Truck scoreboard. Knicks take a 1-0 lead, as does the Chicago Bulls. Olajuwon a perfect 7 for 7 from the stripe, only 72% on the year.
The last time Chris Dudley came into the game, the Dream schooled him. The first thing they did was they used a little big screen. They used a little man to screen down on Olajuwon's man. He came outside. There was no switch. It wouldn't have mattered because of the size difference, and he just shot the outside jump shot.
Portland Trail Blazers, the 3rd highest scoring team in the NBA, needs some of that point right now. Robinson short. He is struggling this evening. He is only 3 of 9. Drexler has it taken away. Thorpe to the hole.
Oh, I don't believe I saw that. I don't believe that.
Now do you believe in Meat Hook?
Oh.
The lead was 2. Houston goes on a 6-0 run. It is now 9. The lead, they have really put it on, but Otis Thorpe, the play of the game so far.
Well, get off the decaf and get on the regular, because this one will pump you up. Watch Otis Thorpe. He's going to take it all the way down, and I've only seen 2 guys who I ever saw play able to do this, Dr. J and Connie Hawkins. Of course, Isaiah would have tried it.
Now the lead is 9 inside of 5:45. Whistle and a foul, and Drexler comes up limping. Maxwell's 2nd personal. Now the Portland Trail Blazers know how important it is to win game 1. They are only 2 and 14 when they lose game 1 of a series. They're 13 and 1 when they win game 1 of a series. Here come the Rockets. Leading by 9 inside of 5.5. Houston 55% from the field tonight. Olajuwon turned his back, thought Max was going to shoot it. Drexler does. Buries the jumper.
He's feeling it. He's trying to put the team on his shoulders. He's trying to take responsibility. He's trying to fire him up. And he's producing a lot of points. 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists for Clyde Drexler. Just decides to get up in the air and lace one up.
8 points in the quarter for Drexler. Olajuwon, whistle and a foul. Another light touch foul. Dudley can't believe it.
Foul is called on the Blazers. 24, Chris Dudley.
Now Dudley picks up foul number 1 on him.
Over the limit. Well, the Rockets 34.
And at the line, it'll be Hakeem Olajuwon. Hakeem Olajuwon, who has averaged 11 rebounds his first 10 years, one of only 5 players to do that. Already with 21 tonight, 4 categories. He is in the top 10 in the NBA. Blocks, points, rebounds, and field goal percentage. And he's 8 for 8 from the line tonight from the free throw strike.
And Shaquille O'Neal is the only other player in the league in the top 10 in four different categories. If you ask me who's going to be the MVP, I say Hakeem is going to be the MVP because of the body of work that he has presented in the last several years to this league, maybe in the last 10 years.
Well, Kenny Smith whistled for his 3rd personal foul. Grant will come out. Porter will come back in. So once again, Rick Adelman going with the 3-guard offense with Porter, Strickland, and Drexler. They're joined by Robinson and Dudley, but Robinson only 7 points, 6 of those coming in the first quarter.
Strickland at the line, shooting 2.
And Rod Strickland at the line. Third highest assist total in Portland history by Strickland. Portland outscored Houston by 7, while Terry Porter was in the game in the first half. What a year Rod Strickland has had for this ball club. He was voted the MVP by his teammates. Rockets by 7, 4:43 left in the third. Olajuwon won't go. Drexler's going to try to push it. He's got the numbers if they hurry. Porter to Strickland. Robinson trying to post on Thorpe. Got away maybe with a little baby step, and that is Cliff Robinson's first field goal since the second quarter. 4 of 11 now from the outside. Smith to Thorpe. The big-time slam. 14 for Otis. That is his average. 7-point lead. The bank is open. Rod Strickland drops down 2.
Portland continues to take the ball to the basket off the dribble. They're trying to do it in a manner that's unpredictable. They've kind of abandoned their set plays, playing a little more freelance, and it's working.
So far, Brian will check into the lineup for Portland. Next break in the action. Hakeem on Dudley, the 1 dribble, the fall away. Drexler with another rebound. He has 12 in the ball game. Already a double-double for Clyde. Porter, the running jumper. That bank is open.
Everything is to the basket. Even the drives, and when there's a crowd inside, they're elected to take the little mid-range jumper. Everything's cooking now for Portland.
Oh, Dick, it's so dangerous, isn't it? When you have a team that's struggled and they're hanging around, you're only down by 3.
Oh, it really is, and it's discouraging if you're Rudy T, and it's kind of encouraging if you're Rick Adelman. But really, it's all been done with offensive proficiency and offensive effort by Portland. Portland's still not playing much defense.
Well, Portland tried to hurry it a little too much there. They throw it away. We have a timeout. They trail only by 3. Midwest Division title, their 2nd straight against the Blazers. They did it just a couple of weeks ago. They lead it by 3 now with 2:57 left in the third. Along with Dick Versace, I'm Ron Thulin. Glad to be with us tonight on TBS. They have led by many as 19, the Rockets have. They have the basketball. And you see the field goal percentage. Both teams shooting extremely well.
Sorry, Ron, this is a different wrinkle, a little high post screen and roll. See what they're trying to do is get Olajuwon the ball down in deep. Then he drew a crowd. That allowed Kenny Smith to come down the baseline. He dropped the pass off. Nice call by Rudy T right after a timeout. Excellent call.
Because we were talking during the break how Olajuwon is being crowded, exactly what Portland's wanted to do. Drexler, no place to go on that. Here comes Olajuwon to Maxwell.
See, now they're turning up the defense. You see the challenge on the shot.
Smith, what a move. No place to go. Behind the back French pastry. Olajuwon on Dudley. Still a lot of time. Shot clock at 9. Smith to the hole. Counted.
Very unselfish play by Hakeem Olajuwon. He had Chris Dudley. He could have forced some kind of shot, turned it down, gave it to Kenny Smith. He found a path to the basket and got a layup.
Now the lead bounces quickly back up to 7. Strickland from the outside. Portland didn't get in this game shooting way outside jump shots. One to go down the other way. Strickland has Drexler. Drexler never saw Maxwell. Strickland had it, threw it behind his back. They're going to give it to Houston, to Portland. Rudy Tomjanovich cannot believe it.
I think Hugh Evans is going to overrule this one.
Rod Strickland took it and kind of threw it behind him. They're going to give the ball to the Rockets. That is what you call officials working amongst themselves.
Well, Rick Adelman not happy about it, but you make the call here, too. Now you see Vernon Maxwell come over and get the ball. That falls loose from the floor. Strickland tried to throw a behind-the-back blind pass, but he threw it out of bounds.
Nice work by the officials. Inside of a minute and a half, 7-point Rocket lead. Keep it posted on that Phoenix Golden State score. Maxwell from 3. Now Maxwell getting in the back pocket of Drexler, and they're pushing and shoving each other all the way down the court. Mark Bryan, who's checked in. Strickland has it stripped, and he goes down.
But again, another nice choice by Rod Strickland. Rudy T said that would be a problem. He said there's no way to prepare for this guy in practice. He said Rod Strickland is a ton. He said he really likes him. He says, I don't have an answer to stopping him. We just have to adjust as the game goes along. Right now, Strickland causing a lot of problems, helping to hold his team in there along with Clyde Drexler.
Well, now we have some taunting and jawing going on, and I think Maxwell may have been technical. Now Maxwell's going over to keep it up with Dudley. Technical on Maxwell. He kept it up and kept it up. Dudley just basically ignored him. Hugh Evans saw what was happening. They threw the technical at Maxwell. So at the 106 mark of the third, chalk up a T for Mad Max. Sorry, Max, we got to call you a little mad on that one.
Well, he admits it. He admits that he will walk on the wild side a little bit and take things to the edge. But he also feels that his life is a little more in order than it once was. I read about a 90-paragraph article on him this afternoon, and his life has not been boring, to say the least.
No, it hasn't. Well, Terry Porter hits the technical foul. Porter now with 19 in the ball game. Now Strickland will shoot the foul shots. Since Rod Strickland's taken over the starting point guard position, he's averaged over 19 a game and 9.5 assists.
Well, let's watch the penetration of Rod Strickland. Great first step, tremendous quickness. But you see the challenge by Houston, the put down, the protection of the lane. That's kind of what Portland needs to do.
7 points for Strickland in the quarter. He has 15 for the ball game. Portland guards have accounted for 50 points between them of the 81 they have. The lead is 5. Final minute of the third quarter. Horry. Inside, the move won't go. We have another whistle.
Ron Robert Horry is a very handy player at 6'10". He can play on the perimeter. He doesn't have a big post-up game, but he's explosive inside. He's an excellent jumper. And there he showed you he can take people off the dribble and finish inside in traffic. Pretty handy player.
14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Bad evening.
You know, you were talking before about his reaction to the trade, and I had mentioned that it's been a blessing in disguise. But you got to give the credit to Robert Horry. He's the one that made the adjustment after Rudy Tomjanovich said to him, hey, look, you know, you got to prove to us that we were wrong. He certainly has done that.
He's 23 years old out of Alabama. He's a member of the all-rookie second team last year. Horry perfect 4 of 4 from the line tonight. He has 16 points in the ball game, above his 9.9 regular season average. Crowd chanting defense. The reverse by Drexler draws the foul. Can't believe he didn't get the basket to go. But you can see the veteran Clyde Drexler beginning to try to take things over.
And you can see the Portland Trailblazers now coming up and congratulating a teammate on a good play. That's what you want to see. That gives an energy to your team. It gives a collectivity to your team.
Foul was on Herrera, his third personal foul. Drexler's first trip to the line. We are at the Summit in Houston, Texas, where the Rockets once led by as many as 19. The Portland Trailblazers have cut it to as close as 2. But Houston now with 37 seconds left in the third. They lead it by 6. Make that 5 as Drexler hits both free throws. Drexler now 18 points in the ball game. 37 seconds left to be played. A high-scoring game if you're a Houston Rocket fan. They only gave up 96 points a game, which was 6th best in the league. Cassell takes the jumper, rolls it around and home with his first field goal of the night. The lead is 7. There is virtually no difference between the shot and the game clock. Maybe a 1/10 of a second. Drexler. One-on-one with Ori. Gets a step, takes it the finger. Oh, my goodness.
It seemed like he lost it.
Yeah, baby.
Gave it another tap.
Oh, you gotta love that. And the ball is knocked out. Houston has it with 0.6 left. What a play by Clyde Drexler. 20 points on the evening. That is my highlight. Rudy T's reaction was priceless. He just could not believe it.
Yeah, a double tap there.
Cassell at the buzzer, won't go. Well, the Portland Trailblazers trailed by 9 at the end of the first half of play. They have cut it down to 5. We still have a lot of time left. Drexler 20 and 12 as we head to the final 12. You're looking at Houston, Texas, and inside the Summit as we head to the final quarter. The Rockets lead it by 5. We have had 2 spectacular plays, one for each team. First of all, Otis Thorpe.
Well, the playoff intensity may not be here, but the playoff artistry certainly is. How about this? A la Dr. J, a la Connie Hawkins, Otis Thorpe. Unbelievable move. But on the other end, how about this? I'll just let you watch this.
That is poetry. Boom. My goodness. Well, the Portland Trailblazers have a record of 6-20 when they are behind after 3 quarters on the road. Not a good omen for that basketball team. And if you're a Houston Rocket fan, you're a 36-6 when you score over 100 points, and they're only 10 away from that. Houston also very good on close ball games, 8-2, games decided by 3 or less. Well, now Rick Adelman's going to go a little bigger lineup. He's got Dudley, Mark Bryant, Jerome Kersey, Terry Porter at one guard, James Robinson at the other. Houston counters with Cassell, Herrera, Maxwell, Olajuwon, and Ori. Different look tonight for Portland. First time we've seen this lineup. Olajuwon down. Porter picks the pocket of Cassell. Oh, and he couldn't keep it alive. That is a shot clock violation. Did he have possession? Interesting call.
Yes.
Did Terry Porter ever have possession? If he didn't, it's a shot clock violation. No, they're going to put 1 second on the shot clock. Here's the hit on Olajuwon. Listen to it. Forearm shiver by Jerome Kersey.
Yeah, the NBA. No babies allowed.
Slightly. Stops. Herrera pops. Doesn't get it. Dudley with the rebound. Portland has hung around in this ball game. How? We're not quite sure. Last touch by Olajuwon. Portland has the ball with 16.
You know, Ron, on that last trip defensively, I thought I saw some terrific intensity by the Trailblazers for the first time this game. They've hung around in this game, and they now are smelling that they could come out of this game with a victory, even though they kind of sleptwalked through the first couple of quarters of this game.
You saw that Houston has held opponents 51 times under 100 points. 45-6 in those games. Kersey from the outside. Jerome Kersey, his first field goal of the game. The last 9 games of the regular season, he hit 64% of his shots. The lead is 3, and Mario Elie gets up off Houston's bench. Olajuwon, little pick and roll. Takes the jumper over Dudley. Portland with a chance to tie it if they can knock a 3. They pull within 1. That'll be the closest they have been since the very, very early part of the game. Off Chris Dudley. Don't take advantage of the opportunity. What a bucket by Jerome Kersey.
Well, Jerome is feeling better. I talked to him at the beginning of the game. He said, I just feel better physically for the first time in a long time. And as you pointed out, Ron, he has been burying jumpers and making a lot of easy baskets for the Trailblazers.
Maxwell from 3. Goes about 3/4 of the way down and pops out. Portland with another opportunity. Crowd almost stunned. James Robinson doesn't get it. Dudley had the putback. Bryant will try it again. Mark Bryant's first 2 of the ball game. The lead is 1. Portland led 2-0 to start the game, and they have not led since. We have played 2 minutes of the 4th. Elie to Olajuwon. Elie taken right away. Jerome Kersey. Oh, let's go Bill Fulton with him. And then Cassell is whistled for the foul. So the Houston Rockets may have talked about what happened last night, but have they learned the lesson? We'll find out. They lead it only by 1.
From what we were explaining earlier, most of what they do is to throw the ball inside to Olajuwon, spot up deep on the perimeter. They have very little opportunity to get in and get a second chance themselves. So what they try to do is they try to survive on offensive efficiency. As you're watching the mascot, Turbo, pretty efficient himself. But my point about Olajuwon is that he has to carry the load offensively. He's been able to do that for the Rockets most of the year. In the 4th quarter, he's the guy they go to late in the 4th quarter and for the bulk of the 4th quarter. When you consider that Mario Elie is the 2nd leading scorer for the Rockets in the 4th quarter and only averages 4 points a game in the 4th quarter.
You also have to be concerned if you're Rudy T. Hakeem, no field goals in the last 13 minutes of this ball game.
Well, he's been missing shots.
Oh, yeah. They've done a nice job crowding that right shoulder, which they talked about. Crowd chanting defense. Portland looking for their first lead since 2-zip. Bryant won't give it to him. Elie with the rebound. Sore hand and all. But it's one of those cases you always see in the NBA. You scratch, you claw, you get up to that point, you're close, you can't get over the hump. Let's see if Portland will fall into that category tonight. Olajuwon, Dudley leaning on him, pushing him, shoving the fall away. Bryant the rebound.
They're doing a nice job on him now, and he's helping him by taking very tough shots. Very little movement by Houston.
Kersey, they give him the 19, and it won't go. Thought he had it.
Well, it was a crier. It was in and out.
Cassell, no. Dudley the rebound. The importance of having the center. 5 boards for Chris Dudley. Porter faking 3 times. Oh, Portland has taken the lead. Terry Porter, what an evening for Porter. 21 points. The first lead for the Blazers since it was 2-zip.
This is an amazing turnaround. Chris Dudley is exhausted. He could hardly get to the top of the key in transition on the last trip.
An 8-0 run by the Blazers. Maxwell, the off-balance shot. Kersey throws it away. Porter regains it. 2-on-1. Bryant and Robinson. Robinson with 2. The Blazers have a 3-point advantage, and that is the first emotion we have seen from the Blazer bench. A 10-0 run by Portland. 8:08 left to be played in the ball game. It's a 20-second timeout. Portland by 3. We've talked about how they've defended Hakeem, Vic.
Well, you talked about the right shoulder. You made the point several times, and it's a darn good point. But you'll see that when Hakeem gets the ball, he kind of helps out a little bit. There's Dudley beating him. Now see, there's that up and back from the passer. Now the double team, up and back again by Porter. look at Dudley trying to get him out into the wood and out of the paint, and then Hakeem takes that no dribble space maker, just can't get it down. And now Terry Porter on the other end comes down, triple pump, freeze, up, nails it.
You know when that 10-0 run started for Rick Adelman? How about when Clyde Drexler had that pretty finger roll right near the end of the third quarter?
You know, I'd like to run right over and just pat Rick Adelman on the back for all the patience that he showed with the way his team has played. And that's what you have to do in this league. You got to kind of hang in there, and continue to show belief in your guys.
Inside, Olajuwon, his first good look at the basket, his first points of the board. With the bench scoring, Portland outscoring Houston's bench 33-12, and Houston really lives and dies with their starters a lot of the time. Strickland, short, the rebound controlled by the black jersey. Kersey is going to draw the whistle.
Well, this is something that Rudy T was worried about. He was worried about the rebounding of the Portland Trail Blazers. His team, the worst offensive rebounding team in the league. His team also the best defensive rebounding team in the league.
Jerome Kersey, the fewest minutes since his second year, fewest points since his first year. The ones that he's going to make now would be the most important.
Well, you look at the lineup that the Trailblazers have: Jerome Kersey, Chris Dudley, Mark Bryant. These guys are all rebounders and defenders, basically. Now you've got also Rod Strickland and Terry Porter with the hot hand on the floor. Pretty good combination. Clyde Drexler getting a rest for the stretch.
Got to hit the free throws. Minute 40 left in that Phoenix game as they lead it by 13 in the half. They go down low to Olajuwon. Whistle, no basket. You know, they're struggling, they're wrestling. 2 minutes ago, that wasn't even close to wrestling, and there's a foul call. That kind of amazes me, I'm afraid.
Well, let's watch Dudley inside. He tries a little front, plays top side, arm bar, tries to get Hakeem out into the wood. Not bad, got him fairly far out. Didn't see much.
Ellie strong to the hole, and he is fouled as the intensity has gone up to a 10. Well, Chris Dudley picks up foul number 3. And he doesn't like it.
Well, but see, that's what Dudley's there for. He's there to do battle. He's there to rebound. He's there to block out. He's there to defend.
At the line, only Mario Ellie.
And you know, if he gets a little mad, that doesn't hurt either.
No. Ellie now with 4 points on the evening. We are tied at 93. Maxwell getting a little work done by Ray Melfiore, the veteran trainer of the Houston Rockets. Dudley's going to sit down. Bring in Cliff Robinson, who has struggled offensively tonight. Mario gets them both. And the Rockets regain the lead. Robinson only 4 of 11. You're just waiting for him to break out of his slump. Bryant, now they're calling it a lot closer. Olajuwon picks up his number 3 foul. You can feel the intensity, though, can't you? Starting to build.
You really can. You can feel the intensity of the Portland Trail Blazers for the first time all night.
Porter trying to get away from Kenny Smith, finally does. Doesn't get the basket. Long rebound into the hands of Kenny Smith. Rockets lead it by 1 inside of 7 minutes. Nice look inside to Otis Thorpe.
Well, the Rockets will put you to sleep. They very seldom dive from the perimeter. That time, Otis Thorpe took a cut from the perimeter. Olajuwon found him for an easy inside basket.
6 straight points for the Houston Rockets. Strickland goes down hard, no foul. Rick Adelman wants the call, doesn't get it. Smith to Maxwell. Olajuwon. That'll be 3 seconds in the lane. I think they have the Houston post in the lane. We have a timeout. 6:18 left to be played in the ball game. The Rockets have regained the advantage. They're up by 3. 6:18 left to be played in the ball game.
Well, normally you don't see a lot of cutting from the perimeter by the Rockets, but there's Otis Thorpe coming down the lane. Unselfishly, the Dream drops the ball off for an easy basket inside.
Well, Rudy T going into the huddle, trying to get that defensive strategy going back. They've only averaged 96 points their opponents during the regular season. Well, coming up on TBS on Tuesday, 10:30 following the Atlanta Braves game, we'll have the Rockets and the Trailblazers. Game 3 coming your way from the beautiful Rose City. Tim Brando, Mike Glenn there to call all the action. Join Tim and Mike. That'll be Tuesday night, 10:30 Eastern time, following Braves baseball. Of course, we will have Game 2 Sunday night right here from the Summit. Dick and I will be there. That'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern time on TNT. I don't know where Robinson was looking on that.
It was an odd play. They were posting Rod Strickland.
Well, it ends up at Cliff Robinson picking up his 4th personal foul. So Robinson now with 4. And at the line, it will be Ellie.
Well, this is kind of a strange play. Strickland was down in the post, and Cliff Robinson gets the ball outside, goes up to shoot the ball, changes his mind, ends up in a nice, easy, fast break. Mario Ellie taking in, getting fouled, getting himself on the free throw line. Basketball's hidden way to score. Get on the free throw line.
On the free throw line. He's already made 1, looking to make it 2. 4 of 5 from the line, make it 4 of 6 from the stripe. He has 6 points this evening. The lead is 4. Houston 7 straight points since Portland went up by 3. Inside of 6 minutes. Drexler, the turnaround, won't get it to go. Rebound. Robinson picks up the gift. Oh, and he just loses the handle. Hakeem can't come up with it. 19 on the shot clock. The Blazers have the ball. .538 left to be played in the ball game. Strickland penetrates inside, goes down hard. Last touch by the Rockets. 12 on the shot clock.
Well, you know, he didn't get it done there, but he certainly got good penetration. He wasn't able to finish.
Well, the Rockets were concerned about their reserves coming into the game with Bullard, Herrera, and also Ellie hurting. They have been outscored by Portland's bench handily from the outside. Kersey, an ill-advised shot. Drexler, the offensive rebound. The putback! Oh, my!
And that was the 17th offensive rebound for Portland compared to 9 for Houston. And Houston had those 9, all 9, in the first half.
What a show by Clyde Drexler. 22 this evening. 13 rebounds to go along with it. Maxwell for 3. His 4th of the night.
They live by the 3 or they'll die by it.
Drexler forces. Oh, my! Oh,
you know, he's getting close to the zone. He's getting very close to the zone.
Give him a saliva test.
Shaking his head saying, yes, I'm getting close.
It is a 2-point game. I love this time of year. Ellie. Olajuwon on Robinson. No place to go. Ellie cross-courts it into row J. And here comes Terry Porter back into the lineup. But what a 3 by Clyde Drexler to pull him within 2. Rudy T, that's a tough defensive scheme trying to stop that. Inside of 4.5. Strickland from 14 goes 13. Fans getting a little restless in the Summit. And they should be. Smith to Maxwell from the arc again. He's 5 of 7 from the outside.
Maxwell silver hammer. Maxwell silver hammer.
Houston,
unbelievable,
sets a record for 3-pointers made in a playoff game. That is number 9. That is a Rockets record from the outside. Drexler doesn't get this one to go. That was a prayer. The lead is 5, 3:41 left. Olajuwon, the double team. Robinson doesn't buy the fake. Porter covers up the passing lane. And he throws it away. Their spacing on that break was terrible, to say the least. Portland wants a timeout. 3:25, Rockets by 5. 103-98, 3:25 left. It has finally become noisy here in the Summit for good reason.
Well, Clyde Drexler's approaching the zone. He's unbelievable in trying to put this team on his back. If you like that, you'll really like this. Freezes Vernon Maxwell, laces up a three, but Maxwell comes back and drops the silver hammer in. 5 threes for Vernon Maxwell.
Well, Dick, 15 threes made between the two teams ties an NBA playoff record. That was set by Chicago and New York back in '89, and Seattle and the same Houston Rocket team just last year. Maxwell, talk about the zone, and he says something to Drexler. The lead is 7. 3 minutes left to be played in the ball game. Porter being hounded by Olajuwon and Smith. Shot clock at 8. Porter, one too many passes. Ball belongs to the Blazers with 7 on the shot clock. I would like to welcome you who are watching the Phoenix Golden State game on TNT. We've got a dandy in Houston. Maxwell has hit the last 8 Houston points. He has 5 3-pointers in the ball game. We have tied an NBA record for the most 3-pointers made by 2 teams combined. 15 have hit the net tonight. Rudy Tomjanovich's team led by 19 early in the first half, only to have Portland scratch their way back to lead by 3 here in the fourth. But now it is Houston again, and Maxwell continues the zone.
Well, when a player gets hot like that, you got to deny him the ball. Clyde Drexler's letting him catch the ball, giving him some space, and letting him drain the jumpers.
Last 10 Houston points, 24 for the game. Porter, the piece of tape is on the floor. He doesn't get his foot right on it. Strickland inside, whistle and a foul. 107-98. We have 2:16 left to be played. Terry Porter in that first half came in with 16 points, 4 3-pointers, and he was virtually all the offense for this Blazers squad. But Maxwell in the zone.
When a player gets in the zone, you can't give him the space. Clyde Drexler gave him way too much room. They're not going to give Clyde that much room. They put 6'6" Mario Elie on him.
Drexler to the hole. He's going to be fouled by his former teammate at the University of Houston and a member of Phi Slamma Jamma. Olajuwon now with 4. These two guys played in a couple of Final Fours, 82 and 83. Of course, losing in the final tilt in 83 to North Carolina State, losing in the semis in 82 to North Carolina.
You know, if Portland could see a highlight film of their last 8 shots and their last 4 decisions, resulting in 2 turnovers and 4 or 5 very poorly selected shots, I think that they would take a second look at how they finish games. They might try to get themselves under control. But Ron Thulin, the guy that has to get them under control and sense what's going on, is the point guard, Rod Strickland.
26 points, 13 rebounds, 5 assists for Clyde Drexler. 18 in the second half. Very well, he stepped down the line. We'll go the other way. With 1:52 left, it is only an 8-point advantage. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter, and the Houston Rockets lead at 107-99. Those of you on TNT, we send you back to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Those of you staying with TBS, don't touch the clicker. They're still at halftime over there. Robinson. Not much production tonight from Clifford. He's going to take the 3. The story of the night for Cliff Robinson, 4 for 12. He came in averaging 20. He has only 11 tonight. Court inside, the foul on Robinson. We have played just about 47 minutes at the Summit in Houston. We have 1:15 left to be played in Game 1 between the Rockets and the Portland Trail Blazers. And with 1:15 left, the Rockets lead it 107-99. Along with Dick Versace, I'm Ron Doolin. It has been a strange ball game, to say the least.
Strange from the standpoint that Portland came out very lethargic, considering that it's a playoff game. We looked for playoff intensity. We didn't see it. They got down big. They kind of closed the gap to 9 at half, worked themselves back into the game. All of a sudden, we're infused with some intensity, and now they've got themselves in position to maybe steal one.
We've got a timeout. We'll be back for the final 1:15 in a moment. 9:99, 1:15 left to be played in the fourth quarter. Moments ago, Turbo got everybody excited by climbing up on the stanchion, which is an NBA no-no. And I think he heard me. He's getting down. Houston 19-6 runs since Portland took a 93-90 lead with 8 minutes left in the fourth. Now Portland's going to need some offense and need it in a hurry.
Yeah, I wanted to finish my thought. They got themselves in position to win the game, then lost that position because Vernon Maxwell came and had an unbelievable fourth quarter. 11 points in the fourth quarter, 9 for 15 for the game, 7 assists, 5 threes, 5 for 8 from the three-point line. Vernon Maxwell.
Strickland doesn't get the offense to go. 9 3-pointers for the Houston Rockets in this ball game. They had 31 in the 4 meetings during the regular season. Vernon Maxwell telling Kenny Smith to take it down. Shot clock at 5. Smith rejected with 3. Olajuwon buries the jumper. "26 points, 10 rebounds for Olajuwon, 12 coming in the second half. Strickland with his 17th point of the ball game. Final 30 seconds, a 10-point lead. Terry Porter commits the foul. Once again, Game 2 will be played Sunday night right here at the Summit. We'll have it for you on TNT beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 o'clock Central. But it is a game that I think the Portland Trail Blazers really have to take a long, hard look at themselves. They talked about how good their practices were in Portland prior to coming here. But we mentioned it. The energy just was not there.
Well, you know, a lot of that has to do with your mental preparation. You know, you can come out and you can warm up, you can be physically here, but if you're not mentally attuned to where you are, you're in the playoffs, you're away from home, what's your position? Well, you're in a 5-game series. You got to come here and at least get a split. They didn't seem to be thinking about those things. They kind of came out and went through the motions, and then they found themselves in the game. I don't know if Houston, Ron Doolin, let them back in the game, or if they actually made the effort themselves. Once they found themselves in the third quarter close enough to try to win it, then we saw some energy from them, but it was too much. I'm sorry, too little, too late.
Well, Drexler's going to sit down with 26 points to watch the remaining 30 seconds. Robinson has his shot rejected by Olajuwon. Smith can't get it. Hakeem's 4th block of the game. Robinson will try it again. The tip by Murray. Last touch by the Rockets with 16.6 left. 112 to 101. 51 opponents for the Houston Rockets failed to reach the century mark. Portland was able to do it, but not able to capitalize. Robinson, no conscience, comes in hard to Olajuwon, who's just laughing. I guess the rookie just wants a little taste of that Spalding burger one more time. Olajuwon's 5th. Robinson, the 6'2" rookie out of Alabama.
You know, it's interesting. Hakeem Olajuwon has been in this league for 10 years. He's a dominant player. He's one of those high-level players that gives you the production on a nightly basis, and yet you don't seem to know the man. You don't see him in the commercials, and you don't see him, you know, in a lot of PSAs, at least, you know, nationally. And you have no idea what he's really like, but you admire him so much because of how he works every single night.
Well, Tracy Murray, for some reason, committed his first foul. 112-102. They quit serving room service at 11:30, Tracy. Let's hurry it up. What a job Rudy Tomjanovich has done for this team. He's given them a philosophy, something they really haven't had in the past, of unity, defense, chemistry. Kenny Smith adds to his point total. Since January 10th of '93, Rudy's led them to win 74% of their basketball games. That's a lot of victories.
Rudy was telling us the story of how he got the job. He said a good man, Don Chaney, was let go. He went into the office. Carol Dawson had some health problems, couldn't take the job, so he said, "You're it." Steve Patterson said, "I can't do it. I'm not Bob Bass. I can't come down and coach. You're it." And he's been it.
Our final score, the Houston Rockets go up 1-0 in the best-of-5 series. The final 114 to 104. As Hakeem Olajuwon again shows why he might be given the MVP award. And our Budweiser player of the game is Vernon Maxwell of the Houston Rockets. Maxwell, 24 points, 10 straight in the fourth quarter, 5 of 8 from the three-point arc. Budweiser will donate $1,000 on behalf of Vernon Maxwell to the United Negro College Fund. Vernon Maxwell, our Budweiser player of the game this evening. What a night for Maxwell and the Rockets, and once again they show that you hit the three-pointers, you have a chance of beating the Portland Trail Blazers. Vernon Maxwell joins us right now. And Vernon, during the regular season, your guards really dominated their guards, especially from the arc. Once again, you got the penetration tonight. You kick out. You had the good looks with 5 threes.
Well, Dream did a good job of finding the outside guys, and you know, they have to go down and double on Dream. If not, he'll score, you know, pretty much the bulk of the points. And he just found the right guy, and luckily it was me hitting the shots tonight.
You know, I read your life story in an article today, about 90 paragraphs, the longest article I've ever read on a single NBA player. And it talked about how you've gotten your life together. How do you feel about where you are in your life, and personally and basketball-wise?
I feel real good about where I'm at in my life right now. My family is stable, and I feel like I'm pretty stable right now, and I know what Rudy expects of me, and I'm going out and doing it. And as far as on the floor, I'm just taking whatever's given to me, and I feel like that's been the key for my success so far.
Well, Max, let's talk about Game 2 Sunday night. It's so important that you get this first victory, but you can't really rest because you had some lapses tonight, and there's something I'm sure Rudy's going to talk about tomorrow. What about Sunday night?
Well, you know, Portland's a veteran ball club. They've been in situations before like that, and we know they're going to make a run some important time in the ball game, and luckily we withstand their run and had our run and came with a big win.
Well, we were trying to figure out all night, did you let them back in the game, or did they get themselves back in the game?
Nah, I felt like they went out and played. They got us out of the things they wanted us to do, get the ball in the Dream, and they did an excellent job of that and made us try to beat them from the outside, something that we like to get it in first and then let them kick it out. And they wouldn't let us do it, and they wanted us to take the shot from the beginning, and we were struggling, and they got back in the game, made it a tough ball game for us.
All right, Vernon, 5 3-pointers. You were in the zone tonight. You had that look in your eye there in the fourth quarter. Congratulations, big win.
Thanks a lot.
Vernon Maxwell, the Houston Rockets, as the Rockets open up this 5-game series of the Blazers, winning Game 1. Once again, the final 114 to 104. Now let's head to Atlanta in our studios with Ernie Johnson. EJ?
Thank you, Ron. Of course, the winner of that series gets the winner of the Golden State Phoenix series. They're